A very good evening on this lovely day, and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set programme 249. We are one away from 250 broadcasts. I do hope this finds you well on Sunday, the 27th of April. It's been quite a week, hasn't it, with the passing of the Pope, with London Marathon, and a heat wave, a mini heat wave to come. What more? What more could we wish for? Good evening, Alison. How lovely to see you. Fantastic. Our opening music. No, it wasn't a quiz show, actually. It was, it could have been, couldn't it? But it wasn't. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. Yeah, it is. It's quite a cracker, isn't it? It was the theme music to the Victoria Wood series, As Seen on TV, which aired in 1985. I was absolutely frightened when I looked up the date of that. That's 40 years ago that aired. It aired for 2 series. And it was quite a classic, really establishing Victoria Wood with all her characters and character sketches, acorn antiques, all those sorts of things. And what an amazingly talented person Victoria Wood was. And there she is, bless her, at the piano. She was an incredibly talented and quirky pianist as well. And that music, which you heard as our opening music this evening, the music for As Seen on TV, was composed by Victoria. She very often composed her own music. Very, very talented lady, and quite a way with words in all her dialogue. It's lots of fun going through YouTube and finding different things that she's written and rewatching them and finding fresh humour in her lines. Anyway, that's what that opening one was. It was the opening music to As Seen on TV, the Victoria Wood sketch series from 1985. As I say, you are most welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set programme 249 on a glorious sunny afternoon. The temperatures are warming up. It's so exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat, but then I always am I not? So we were back live last week. Well, we're live again this evening, but we're being a little more daring. We're trying some videos today, so hopefully we won't lose transmission during the process. As always, if you're with us in the chat room and you want to chat along, then please do. I know some people just like to lurk and listen, which is absolutely fine as well. And if you want to talk about the music or the composer or the context or anything else, just chat away and I'll chat to you in between. We've got a good programme tonight, you know. I've done a good one tonight. I've a bit something for everyone somewhere, I feel sure. So I'll have a sip of coffee and then we'll go into our music this evening. Do sit back, lie back, stand up, jump around, do a jig, whatever you wish to do to enjoy 45 minutes of a Date with a Dinner Set.
one more time. Let's try it one more once.
Good evening, Martin. Good evening, Jeannie. How very lovely to see you on this very lovely afternoon. Indeed, as my brother was very quick to identify, he says it was Judy, but both of you got it together, closely followed by Jean. That was indeed April in Paris. I thought I'd better play that today, since it may not be quite so appropriate to play it next week. Yes, some nice little Parisian shots going on there. And the very famous voice that you heard at the end was the voice of Count Basie. And that song, April in Paris, was actually composed in 1932 for the film Walk a Little Faster. Play a Little Faster, maybe. And it was composed by this chap, Mr. Vernon Dukle. He, amongst his other pieces, was Taking a Chance on Love and Autumn in New York. But April in Paris is perhaps his best known piece. I thought I'd better do two pictures. I like the one at the piano, but it looks quite serious, like he's checking that he's done his practicing. So I thought I'd try and find one of him a little more jovial on the right there. So the reason for doing that in the way I did was in the style of the very famous Count Basie arrangement from 1955. And there is Count Basie with his orchestra. And that very famous arrangement was done by a chap called Wild Bill Davis. And it features a very famous trumpet solo, which I tried to emulate. The famous trumpet solo by Thad Jones, which starts off by quoting Pop Goes the Weasel. Well done, Alison. That is all part of a 1955 Count Basie recording of April in Paris. He gets to the end and then he says one more time, and we do a little bit of a coda. Then he says one more once, and we do another coda, and then we eventually finish. It's a raucous and wonderful, very famous arrangement on the album Atomic Basie, all the way from 1955. That was our opening one this evening, so I do hope you enjoyed that one. As always, if you enjoy what you see and hear on A Date with the Dinner Set, then please press the thumbs up button and allow it to illuminate and dance, which will all help our channel to grow. And you'll feel that you have appreciated what's going on, and I will love seeing your thumbs up. Right home. Let's have something a little calmer now, I think. Yes, as Hannah was first in to point out, Embraceable You by Gershwin, followed by Jill and indeed Alison. Yes, Alison, it was a great concert, that, wasn't it? Ian did us proud with that concert, and Paul sang a lovely solo, I thought, in that one. It was a bit short, our version. Could have done with being a bit longer. Anyway, that was indeed Embraceable You, which was composed, as you said, by Mr. George Gershwin. And George and Ira composed that song in 1928. And it was to be part of an operetta called East is West. However, it never got finished. It never got done, that one. So, as most composers do, they recycle. And that song really made its first public appearance and was copyrighted in 1930 as part of Girl Crazy, which features a number of lovely Gershwin songs. And that song, Embraceable You, was introduced in the film version and in the show by Ginger Rodgers. Absolutely fantastic piece. I really do like that. I think it's one of the Gershwin's finest songs, that one, Embraceable You. As I say, all the way from 1928. If you've happened upon this live broadcast and you'd like to see what else is going on Gigi the Piano Man, then please do subscribe to my channel. We have currently 599 videos for you to look at and bore yourself rigid with. There should be something for everyone amongst that little lot. And we do this live broadcast every Sunday, and next week will be our 250th broadcast. We're not making a great big song and dance about that. It's just a way of life for David Innocent now, isn't it? But it is quite amazing to think that we've got to 250 largely live broadcasts. So that's quite an exciting thing. I'll have a sip of coffee and then we will launch into our next song. We haven't had this one for a bit. Do enjoy. I saved the friendly one for the end. Alison. I couldn't decide which one to use because I like them both. But there we go. It's such a great song, isn't it? And it goes all the way back to 1963, by the way, and it was based on a 1955 story. And it's one of those songs that seems to be universally well known. And as always with songs like this, they attract a lot of folklore, and there have been ridiculous stories over the years that the song is all about drugs and hallucinogenic substances in the 60s. It's absolutely not. It is just really a bit of a fantasy story about childhood and growing up, and it's rather nice from that point of view, if a little sad. It was composed by a chap called Peter Yarrow. And Peter Yarrow, as somebody said, my brother said, part of, yes, Peter, Paul and Mary, there's Peter on the left. In fact, Peter Yarrow only passed away about 2 months ago. He was singing and performing all the way to the end, mainly as a solo item. But back in '63, their outfit, Peter, Paul and Mary, was a sort of very approachable, family-friendly folk trio. Very, very popular. They had a number of hits, including, of course, Puff the Magic Dragon. So I hope you enjoyed that one. As I say, we've not had that one for a little bit. So I thought we'd bring it out tonight. And from one bit of heat, it's no wonder the software goes wrong with all that fire, isn't it, actually? From one bit of heat to another. So, you know, it's been widely publicised, isn't it, that this week we are in for a mini heat wave. How exciting. It is certainly getting warmer. It is noticeably getting warmer almost by the hour. I saw the temperature nudge 22 this afternoon on my travels. And it's due at some point down this way to get up to about 27. How exciting! So, you know, I'm a bit of a boff about these things. It could be Western Supermare, Mark. I don't know. I didn't bother to look, I'm afraid. Sorry. Well, it's. Yeah, I'm going to say it's the... I think you're right, Mark. It's the rebuilt Western Supermare pier, isn't it? Anyway, back to me, please. Yeah, so we're going to have this mini heat wave. All I know is it's getting warmer, getting sunnier, which is absolutely delightful. The technical definition of a heat wave is different depending on the part of the country in which you find yourself. Here in the southeast, in London and the southeast, it has to be 28 degrees for 3 days to be a heat wave. I'm pretty sure we won't hit that, but 27 is possible. Who cares about numbers? All I know is that it's warm and it's bright and it's sunny, and isn't that wonderful? Because after that bit of sunshine we had a few weeks ago, it was a bit of a shame when it went back to a sort of gloom and doom. So let's enjoy this lovely week that is to come. We've had a bit of rain for the grass. Now we've got the sun to get everything going, especially the weeds, I suspect. There we go. Your knowledge of Western super mud is better than mine, brother, even though we went there so many times as children. On with our next piece of music. Do you enjoy? It is indeed the poinsettia. Well, the piece of music was ALFIE, the Michael Caine film. And the history, I'll just come back to me now you've seen that poster. So you can admire the poinsettia. It sort of only went away to the back cupboard. It's quite exciting. It's not very red, but it's very much alive. It is a great tune, indeed. And it was composed all the way back in 1966 by the wonderful Mr. Burt Bacharach with lyrics by Hal David. They were asked to write a song to promote the upcoming film ALFIE, and neither of them, neither Burt nor Hal David, wanted to do that. They didn't think it was right. They thought it was a bit trashy to write a song just to promote a film. However, Paramount insisted, and so write a song they did. They first of all wanted Dionne Warwick to sing it, but the studio wouldn't let that happen. They wanted a UK singer. So next to be approached was Sandy Shaw. Now, Sandy Shaw has a bit of a reputation for being a stroppy so-and-so, and she just said no, she didn't want to do it. So next, they approached Cilla Black, who was an up-and-coming star at the time. Now, the thing is, Cilla didn't want to do it either. She said, how can you sing a song about somebody called Alfie? It sounds like a dog. And so she thought, I really don't want to do this. And her agent was pushing her, and she said, no, I really don't want to do this song. It's ridiculous. It's not a good title. So Cilla had all these conditions. And one of the conditions was that Burt Bacharach himself did the arrangement. And so he said yes to that. The next stipulation, Cilla said, well, he's got to come and fly over here and conduct it. So he said yes to that. And Cilla said, and he's got to play the piano on the recording as well at the same time. And he said yes. So he said yes to all three. And a very famous recording took place in Abbey Road Studios to record that with a 48-piece orchestra. And according to Burt Bacharach, it's amazing, isn't it? A lifetime misspent, Alison. Yeah, so 48-piece orchestra. And according to Burt Bacharach, 28 takes. He made Cilla do it 28 times before he thought, that's the one. And I have to say, she really did belt it out. Whatever you think of Cilla, she didn't half sing that song. And it's a great song, one of Bacharach and David's finest songs. I was smiling in that because I was remembering vividly the Burt Bacharach orchestration and thinking, if I am a harp player in the next life, I'm going to spend my whole life doing whole tone scales on the harp. Just like that. That's all you want to do, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, that ALFIE, all the way from 1966. Hope you enjoyed that one. The upload this week was the final Marvin Hamlisch piece. It's not had many views yet, according to YouTube. Only 20. 20 out of my 670 subscribers. Shocking. It was one singular sensation from a chorus line, one of his most famous pieces and one of the most famous bits of theatre song out there. Really foot tapping, toe tapping, finger clicking bit of nonsense, but it's a great song. Exactly, cue the fairy god. Well, we aim to do magic on this programme, you see, Alison. So that's there anyway. The final Marvin Hamlisch upload, one from a chorus line. There is a link directly underneath this video. Give it a look if you want a bit of fun with that one. I certainly had fun playing it, so I hope you enjoyed that. We will go on with our next bit of music. There you go, 2 bars of Winnie the Pooh, just popped into the end to please you. Brother, I couldn't get Let's Do It Cole Porter into that one. That was confusing my brain. We'll get that one in at some point. Good evening, Bethany. How lovely to see you. It was indeed Satin Doll. Satin Doll. Allegedly composed by Mr. Duke Ellington. What a lovely, smiley, happy chap he is there on the left. And a more serious portrait on the right there. And that one comes all the way from 1953. It was a massive hit for Ella Fitzgerald, but not originally. It was an instrumental in 1953. And later in 1959, Johnny Mercer, the great Johnny Mercer, wrote lyrics to that. And that's when it became a hit for Ella Fitzgerald. You know, everyone else sang it as well. I say everyone else, you know, Judy Garland, Bing Crosby, Frank, Nat King Cole, all of those sort of people. It is a great number, one of my favourite numbers, written by Duke Ellington. Well, the melody was written by Duke Ellington. It was actually Billy Strayhorn who composed many of Duke Ellington's hits, but really did the donkey work. But it was Duke's tune, so why not? It was a great one. Now, look, we can't go into our last piece without talking about what a special day it is. You know, it's Sunday, so it's a date with a dinner set. That's special enough. But it's also National Devil Dog Day, April the 27th. I know, it was on the tip of your tongue, wasn't it? And maybe that creation would be, I'm not so sure, not just because I don't eat chocolate. And Devil Dog Day came about, well, the term Devil Dog came around about in World War One. The US Marines were known as Devil Dogs. And the sweet treat came around about in the 1920s, mid-1920s, 2 slices of chocolate devil's food cake sandwich with some cream. And then in that picture, it was mass-produced to become something horrific and laden with sugar and highly processed, all sorts of trans fatty acids, etc. Nasty things like that. But that apparently is a devil's dog. You heard it here, folks. Today is National Devil Dog Day, April the 27th. It's also programme number 249 of a date within the set. So next Sunday will be, it does look like a bourbon, I think a softer version. No bad thing. Oh, there we go. Oh, you could be peas in a pod, Alison and my brother. You really could. Fantastic. Yes. Let's all have a look at a soft bourbon. Yes, there we go. Yeah, so next week is actually going to be programme 250. We're not making a great big song dance, hoo-ha, balloons, etc. We'll just have, for a change, a nice programme. I think that's what we'll do next week. Now, look, I've had a request to play this, so we're going to end with a piece of calming classical music this evening, which I hope you will very much enjoy. And then I have something to say about it afterwards, so don't run away yet to enjoy our final piece. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. I won't attempt to pronounce that. Jill, you were correct with the composer, Mr. Edvard Grieg. Indeed. Keep pressing and guessing, brother. Absolutely. I think they can be all over the place depending where you are in the world, Alison, is the answer to that. To the spring. To the spring. When you say Andrew, I think you mean Matthew, possibly. But there we go. To the spring. And yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. As I say, it was... Exactly. Who is Sylvia? Who is Sylvia? Yeah, so just before we... so that... From a lyric piece from 1886. Yes. I wanted to tell you, I wanted to share this with you. That Mrs. Grieg, I can't even get it out. It just amuses me every time I read it, and I don't even know where I read it. Mrs. Grieg apparently made a really nice ginger cake. And on that note, I think it's time to say goodnight to A Date with a Set programme. 249 on April the 27th. Do have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you can enjoy the lovely sunshine that is to come this week. And I look forward to the great pleasure of playing for you on A Date with a Set programme 250. Next Sunday. Do take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for being here and for listening and commenting and having fun with music. Take care of yourselves. Thanks so much. Good night.